What's going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another one today. This will be part of my Dark Dimension Essential series as well here. And today we're going to be talking about legendaries. We talked briefly last time on the best characters that were non-legendaries. Today we're going to be talking about the best ones you want to invest in, specifically the ones you'll be starting on for Dark Dimension 3 and ultimately Dark Dimension 4. Let me know what you guys think. Well, first off, right off the bat here, we're going to go with Phoenix. She's going to be the one that I recommend you guys go with first if you can, if you have her unlocked. She's T4'd and Tier 14 right now currently, and of course she will be one of the first ones I'll be looking at getting Tier 15 as well. And lots of reasons why, but obviously one of the best ones is because she excels in so many of the game modes in the game, from the arena to now the new real-time arena, which people are running 4 low minions with a Phoenix, and they're calling it the Phoenix 5, or basically it's just a great team because everybody wins the points, and yeah, it's really nice for that. On top of that, she excels in all the other modes, and she'll definitely get the most value out of your buck, especially if you're starting Dark Dimension 3. Next off is another great legendary, and again, this shouldn't surprise anybody. It's Ebony Maw, and of course he also shines in a lot of the respective game modes. I've got him T4'd in almost every ability, and I'm trying to get him up there in terms of his ISO 8s as well here. But yeah, his second ability, which is Insidious Whisper, it's going to cause the defense up for everybody. So it's a combination of Shuri's special, and then of course it also hits everybody with an offense down, allowing everybody to get their damage reduced, so that helps you guys out. And of course she also, like Phoenix, has a percentage based damage attack, which basically drains their health 12% if my math is correct. And again, this helps out because you want to make sure you can give your characters health back, and of course this also reduces their turn or their speed bar as well. So this is really nice. And of course, just with her and Phoenix, I mean, you're getting 2 characters that have percentage-based damage, which is great because Dark Dimension 3 and 4, you've got these big monsters with massive health pools, and of course that's going to come big, especially because they get the health drain and they bring those characters health back to your team. So of course this shouldn't be a surprise for you guys. So I know Phoenix and Ebony Maw, they're pretty sound choices, and obviously they've got so much to bring to the current game as well, and to the characters on the team that you'll be utilizing in Dark Dimension 3 and 4. So that's where it gets a little bit more decisive now, because if you're looking at legendaries, for example, like Iron Man, he doesn't really bring much synergy to the team. He doesn't really bring any heals or defense up or buffs or anything like that. So he would be a lousy legendary. So don't bring him up. But one that I do have to mention is obviously the new one we've got, and that is Doc Ock, or Dr. Octopus. And of course he brings a lot to the table because he brings the buffs, he brings a summon, and of course he also has he has his ult as well, which basically flips buffs and it prolongs them. So it helps with if Phoenix goes down, she's going to bring the defense down to everybody. If Ebony hits his special, he's going to bring the offense down as well. So that helps lengthen everything up. So right there, he suits our particular skill set that we want as a team synergy. And of course, unfortunately right now I've only got him 5 reds, but his event is coming back, so hopefully you guys can get him if you miss him the first go around. And I need to really get this guy leveled up here, just because I've been focused on a lot of other characters and they've been pumping out characters left and right, but for sure I need to get this guy T4'd and leveled up here. But he is what I would deem to be a pretty powerful asset to the team, and of course I would put him as a number 3 choice if you guys can. So he would be a very sound option. And that's it. That's my top 3 picks there. And then of course then you guys can kind of get crafty, and I think a lot of people went with Shuri. Shuri was a great one in Dark Dimension 3 just because of the defense up and the energy and the buffs as well. Unfortunately for me, she didn't really win me over, just because of the fact that her reflect only contributes it in raids, and of course I wish they had added that in for Dark Dimension as well, but unfortunately it's just in raids. So unfortunately that was one of my deciding factors, and of course she was also a tech, and I had a lot of tech characters competing with that, so of course I did not choose her. But in the event you guys are looking for a 4th option, I would go with Invisible Woman, because of the fact that she's a very cheap character overall in terms of getting to tier 14. So just compared to the rest here, she is by far one of the cheaper ones. She is alongside Phoenix there in terms of materials. They're both very, very efficient in terms of how much resources they need, and that's why I've got her T for it as well. And she also has a lot of benefits to the different game modes. Arena, I use her lots in Arena to take down Black Order teams, and I also use her quite a bit as well in War, especially when you piece her with Namor and the Fantastic Four crew. They can take down a lot of big teams, especially the Marauders as well if you put Ultron in there. And she also does quite well in raids as well, just because of the fact that she brings the barrier, and she this is proportional to her own health, so that's really nice. And of course, she also has the off chance when she has that barrier, she hits back as well, so she has that constant counter attack, which is really nice. And of course, we can't forget the fact that she can bring everybody's stealth and allow the defense up, and this also gives the offense down as well, so it's really nice for that. And yeah, it just hits everybody. So really really great character, and probably going to be my fourth choice for sure. And that's it. That's pretty much my four choices there: Phoenix, Ebony Maw, Doc Ock, and then of course Invisible Woman. And then the fifth character is where it gets a little bit more, hopefully I don't have to decide that for a while, but I'm kind of aiming towards, if Jubilee is going to be worth it, we'll see what happens with her. But essentially, you don't want to pick a character like Iron Man. And of course, we also have to talk about Black Bolt as well. Not only is he a bow character, so he competes with the symbiotes. So if you're aiming to have the symbiotes in the run there for your runs, he's going to be competing resources. And I should mention Invisible Woman also competes for that as well. So it is going to get a little congested in that area. And I found that I did use him quite well in the Cosmic Nodes in Dark Dimension 3, but unfortunately he just didn't bring enough buffs to the table. He had sheer damage, which is great. He's absolutely awesome in Ultimus raids just because of how much damage he can do, and his passive, King of Adelan, basically hitting the passive when they drop below 25% health. And of course, if it's a villain tech like Ultron, he can just absolutely dominate him because of the fact that they get disrupt. But yeah, other than the sheer damage, he wasn't doing it for me, so he's definitely not going to be a contender for my Dark Dimension 4 runs. But I still recommend him, getting him to tier 12 or 13 for all the other game modes. But I don't know if I would push him to 14 or 15 for Dark Dimension 3 or 4. I just found him to be a bit lackluster, and definitely because I leveled Black Bolt up, it slowed down my city node progression. So unfortunately, that was the case. But if you guys are going to look for a character, you're probably better off picking a character, for example, like Shuri. That way she can bring buffs, defense up, and at least have that synergy with the team, whereas Black Bolt is just pure, sheer damage. And Magneto is also a good choice. Unfortunately, his cooldowns are a bit long, and because he is a very expensive mutant, I believe he requires all 6 slots. He is one that definitely, you definitely want to, if you've got lots of materials and you're, you've got ample supplies, definitely a character you want to eventually get, especially if you're, I think everyone's goal is to have every character maxed and tiered up, but definitely not one I would recommend for Dark Dimension 3 or 4, but still a great character overall. You're better off going with Nick Fury. At least he brings defense up, he brings some heals and some minions to mitigate the damage, and of course he would probably be my 5th option. Next, right after Invisible Woman, but those would be my 5 picks: Phoenix, Ebony Maw, Doc Ock, Invisible Woman, and of course it will be Nick Fury and or maybe Shuri. So those will be my choices just because of that synergy, and we will see what happens with Jubilee being added into the fray. If she becomes a character that can bring a lot to the table, we'll see what happens with that. Now, having said all that, I mean, we've also seen 2 people now complete Dark Dimension 4. Shout out to Scopely Fixed Prices and to Dano Mac for that. Very impressive stuff, as always. These guys are just, wow. I just can't believe how fast they have completed it already. And of course, the real awesome part is the fact that we can see what teams they've utilized. And of course, if we go to node 15, the last node, or actually any of these legendary ones, we can see what characters they use. And of course, this reaffirms the fact that we are on the right track, and we're going with a very similar setup. And yeah, it does look like they did confirm my suspicions as well. I mean, we don't have a ton of legendary characters to pick from, but of course, the ones that we do want to make sure that we're using, because they also shine in multiple game modes, and they will also hopefully not be, you know, they won't lose their effectiveness over the next course of the year here or something like that. But Ebony Maw, Phoenix, Doc Ock, and of course Invisible Woman. And right now, I mean, until we get more people completing it, we'll probably get some Black Bolts and some Shuris in there as well, depending on who people leveled up. But it does reaffirm the fact that you want to be picking characters that synergize well together, or they bring defense up or buffs or something like that. And of course, these two teams that they've used basically match up with what we've been assuming all along. So that's really great news for us. So that's it, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out. I don't know if there is really any alternate way to work on those legendaries outside of that, but I do find that these are the best picks right now we've got right now at this current moment. And we will see what happens when Jubilee gets added. Perhaps that might change things. I know in the comics, she was able to blind and throw stuns in the comics. So it'll be interesting to see if they integrate that, because otherwise, the only person that I know that can stun and blind as well would be Taskmaster, and he's pretty awesome. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, guys, we will catch you in the next one. As always, guys, stay safe, happy holidays, and happy gaming.